Hello painters, it's Debbie from acrylicpouring.com and today I'm back with glitter paints. I am always looking for more ways to work with glitter or metallics or anything sparkly and shiny. So today I'm going to try something a little bit different with resin. So I've done a little bit of resin coating, clear coats on like tiles and things like that in the past, and practiced with a few things with little mini canvases. I thought today it would be a great opportunity to work with more glittery things by doing a resin painting, and it will be my first time. I have very low expectations, but I thought, well, I've got nothing to lose. So I have got some of these Martha Stewart glitter paints, and you know how much I love these ones. They are amazing in pours, so with all this glitter going on I thought they would look really cool with resin too. So I have got this blue, which is called turquoise, this kind of pinky colour which is tourmaline, that looks very nice, and then this one kind of a lime green, this is called limeade. This one is a silver, and unsurprisingly it's called sterling, and it looks a little bit iridescent. And then I also have a regular silver acrylic paint, and I've already got them spread out here a little bit in my little cups, and I am working on a canvas. I know with resin that ideally you would work on a board, but I don't have any board, so I've just got one of these from the kind of economy canvas pack, just a simple 10 by 10 inch canvas, and I prepared it in advance with some black paint and also just a few little streaks here of silver, just for a little bit of a background, because I'm going to do some of the resin will be clear and I want some of this background to show through. So I'm just going to see what happens. So first thing, I need to mix my resin. I've got half of the resin and half of the hardener. I'm going to mix two of them together. If you're going to do this, do make very carefully sure that you are mixing your resin and your hardener exactly 50-50, because if your balance is a little bit off, your resin won't set correctly and won't cure. So I'm going to mix that. I've got a cup just here. I'm going to do 6 tablespoons in total, 3 of the resin, 3 of the hardener in this one cup, and then stir it very carefully for 3 minutes. You don't need to watch me do that, so I'll take care of that off the camera, and then we'll come back, start to mix up some colours and do some fun stuff with the resin on the canvas. So the resin's mixed, and I've held it up to the light just to make sure there's no stringy bits and everything in it is fully mixed. So now I've got the 5 little cups set out with the paint. I'm going to add resin to each of those, but also remember to leave enough clear, because I want to use some clear in the painting too. So I'm going to add the resin to these, mix them all up, and then I'll be back again for the painting. Well, I've mixed these glitter paints with the clear resin, and I've got some very unusual and unexpected results. This wasn't what I was expecting at all. They've gone very white. So if you look, it's very different now it's mixed with the resin to how it was before. Before it was kind of clear and glittery. Now with the resin it's gone very white, and I'm not entirely sure why that is, because it's the first time I've done it. So this was like the silver, for example. So now the colours don't look as nice as they were before, and I can't explain why that is, because I've never done it before. I'm also not sure if they're going to go clear again. I suspect that they aren't. So even though this isn't what I was expecting or looking for, I think I'm going to have to go with it anyway and just see what happens. Maybe I added too much paint or not enough resin or whatever, I really don't know. The silver's kind of as expected, that's just paint after all. So anyway, it's already gone wrong before I've even got them on the canvas, but let's just go ahead with it anyway and see what happens. And it's a lesson learned that I should probably test out a few more of these things before using them with resin, because they definitely don't look the same once the resin is added as what I expected before. So anyway, let's just pop them off to one side, and I'm going to start with a little clear bit in the middle. Something like that one. And then I was thinking of adding them round in a kind of circle and then a bit of a swirl or a spiral, but we will see. As I said, things aren't exactly going to plan, so we'll just go with it and see what happens. There's the pinky one. This was that lovely lime green, but look, all the glitter's kind of disappeared in it, so I'm not sure what we can say about that. hopefully I've got enough resin to have a nice finish. I was kind of tight with the resin today as well, because you know it's my first time doing something like this and I didn't know how it was going to react, so I didn't want to waste a whole bunch if it wasn't going to come out very nice. So we will see. I think obviously once you start putting it into more and more cups as well, you know, you always end up with stuff left in the cups, and the more cups you put it in, then you know, the more residue you'll have, and the less resin you've then got to work with. So we will see. A little bit of that in the centre. So this was nice silver glittery one. Let's get as much out as I can, because I don't want anything to be left in these cups. So these were just regular plastic cups, but I've cut them down, made them smaller. This is the silver paint. Just put a bit of that across there. And my plan, once I've got everything out on the canvas, is to just start kind of blowing it about a bit and mixing the different colours in with the clear. It looks like I'm a bit short. I might have to spread this out a bit more than I was expecting. We will see. Let's see, what else have I got? Got some of the blue. It is a shame about these colours. If they'd been kind of more clear and glittery, it would definitely been more the look that I was hoping for, but here with them a bit kind of white, it's a bit unexpected. But, well, it's my first time, what do you expect? I like to, you know, be real with this kind of stuff, and if it happens to me, then it's exactly the kind of thing that would happen to you. And now you know that if you go and do something like this, you'll be able to see before you do it what the results are going to be and be ready for that and hopefully correct it. So let's get that blue out there. I've got a bit more of the pink. Tourmaline. Oh, I've dragged, somehow there's a bit of paper. Let's get that out of there before we go any further. Get the rest of the pink out here. I guess also when you have it in smaller amounts like this, does it set up quicker? I don't know, because there's more air to it. I'm not sure whether it sets up more quickly or not if you spread it into several containers. So now I need to fill in some of these gap areas with the clear, and then we can start moving things around and see if we've got enough. So if I kind of fill in the centre, and then what I can do is I can spread out to the outsides, and then we'll see. So I am a bit short really, because I was hoping I would have more of a spread than this, and then I could kind of mix it about rather than have to spread it with a stick or something. So let's see. I'll tilt it as if it were paint. And of course, as I do that, the colours all kind of move over and on top of each other. So let's spread it out to the sides. I don't want to lose too much over the sides because I haven't got enough to spare right there. So let's just take it up to the edge. Tilt it back this way. I'm seeing the glitter a bit more now. Now that it's thinning out, oops, I'm definitely seeing the glitter. Spread it along the sides too. I may be happy with it after all. We will see. Let's go. Spread that on the sides. It's certainly spreading out far enough anyway. So there's quite a lot of glare from the lights at the moment because I've obviously got it on an angle. But once I set it back down, we should be able to get a better view, see what it looks like. Just got this one side to do. So I've definitely got enough resin overall. Once I've spread it out, it definitely is going to cover the whole canvas. And there's plenty to cover the sides too. Plus I've also got some drips here in the event that I really did need to pick something up for the sides or something afterwards. But it looks good so far. Last little bit here. It's coming. So I think resin is probably a little bit like pouring. When you start out, I certainly, I was stingy with the amount that I made here because, you know, it's like, oh, it's expensive, it might not turn out right, I don't want to waste too much. But in the end, I've made it more difficult on myself by being too stingy with the resin, and I'd have probably got an easier and a better result if I'd had a bit more and been prepared to, you know, lose a bit more over the sides. So let's see, I've got pretty much good coverage now. I'm going to check, just turn it as I go and check against the light that all the sides are done too. Pick up any dribbles. Looking good. And here, all good. Oh, bit in the corner. Bit on this side. Oh, looks all good. The sides look very, very glittery. Drag off all that extra that I don't need and let's pop it down. So I do see that I've got what looks like a bit of a lump just here. Let me see if I can pull that out. I've got my pokey tool and there's a bit of a lump of something. Let's see, there we go, let's get rid of that one. So I've ended up, I think, with less clear than I was expecting because as it's moved, the colours have kind of the clears maybe run over the edge and the colours have overlapped. I've got some really nice glittery areas actually where the glitter is spread out over the clear, and I've got some nice bits where I can see the canvas underneath poking through. So it's not a loss, it does look good, but it's more milky than I was expecting just because of the way those paints have gone a little bit more milky once I added the resin to them. I should also have done a bit something to cover up my workspace a bit more because everything is very resiny on my plastic, but I kind of expected that. Now I did have a straw ready to blow the resin together, so let's just see, it's kind of blended anyway. This is where I've got some of the area of the silver paint, so I'm just blowing the paint out a little bit and it's creating little veins out into the other areas. So I think that looks kind of cool. I'm going to turn it around also this way. Oops, cups and sticky stuff going everywhere. And just blow maybe a little bit of glitter into this clear area here. That looks nice. So overall, I think it looks kind of cool. Not what I was expecting entirely, but not altogether lost. So I'm going to just torch over this lightly now and pop any bubbles that I've got in the surface. now I'm going to babysit this for the next hour. I'll come back every 10 minutes and just check that everything's looking good. I'll go over it again with the torch and get rid of any bubbles and things. And of course then I'll cover it with a box, leave it 24 hours, and then we'll see what it looks like. In the meantime, I'm going to bring you down so you can take a look now and see what the colours and all the glittery stuff looks like. Glitter! So there we go. I think you can even see it sparkling just as I slightly move the camera. So certainly that glitter and that sparkle makes me very happy. You know that it does. So if you look at some of the close-ups, it looks really nice the way it's gone out into the clear here in the corners where I've blown it. Lots and lots of glitter there in all sorts of different colours. Oh, camera can't focus. Ah, zooming on its own. There we go. That's better. So if we zoom in and if we look at the corners just here, they look really nice. You can see where the glittery paint is blown out into the clear. That looks really nice. There is glitter everywhere, which is obviously what I was hoping for in this. And you can see lots and lots of sparkle, but I'm a bit disappointed that it's a little more white than I was expecting. Certainly there was some kind of reaction with these glitter paints and the resin that suddenly made them go a lot whiter than I was hoping for. But look in the center where we've got that clear bit, it has a real nice dimension to it, because you can see the glitters kind of in layers, and you can see all the way through that clear part into the center where the canvas is underneath. And so far I'm happy. So I'm very happy with how it looks. I'll babysit for the next hour, keep checking for bubbles, keep making sure the sides are all covered, and of course then I'll show you what it looks like when it's all finished. So here it is finished. I've left it around 2 weeks till you see it now, and I have to say this is the most amount of glitter I've ever seen in one place, and therefore how could I not be delighted with this? Sure, the colours of the paint didn't come out, as you can see, quite so vibrant as I was hoping, but they still look kind of good. I think once they'd cured and the colour from the glitter came through a bit more, actually it looks really good now. And I like the kind of the white cloudy look of the paint. It really goes with the kind of galaxy look. And can you see the glitter? I think you probably can as I turn it towards the window, but it's absolutely, whoops, let's see if I can get you you can see the reflection of the camera in the resin. It's absolutely jam-packed full of glitter. There we go, you can just get a little idea there of how sparkly it is. So I had some reservations initially about using these Martha Stewart glitter paints. They're absolutely spectacular in a pour, but when they went this kind of washed out colour a little bit in the resin, I was a bit uncertain about them, but now the cloudiness seems to have faded a little bit, the colour has come back, the glitter is all there, and wow, this looks absolutely amazing. And I'm pleased to say I've got a really good finish on the surface of the resin too, so it doesn't need another coat, but this was my first time, so I'm not sure whether I want to call it a day or whether I want to just experiment a little bit more and maybe put another layer or something on top. But if I did, it would be such a shame to hide all this fabulous glitter and all these wonderful colours. So I'm not sure. I would love to know what you think. Of course, I always value your feedback. I know there are a lot of people out there far more experienced artistically than I am. So I hope you'll give me your feedback and let me know, did you enjoy seeing a little bit of resin? Would you like to see some more? Or do you just think acrylic pouring is what this channel should all be about? I'd love to hear from you. Thanks once again for watching.